Alright, so now we have the gravity, we have the temperature, we have the radiation. Let's work on some of the other things. Let's work on some of the aesthetics. So what kind of water do we want? Do we want blue water, brown, green, red, or do we want lava? Now, uh, if we're going to use this planet as a starting planet, we should have water. Um, just simply because it's really hard to start on I mean, it's near impossible to start on a world with no water or snow. So let's change this. Well, brown water. It's gross sewage water, but you know, hey, why not? See, this deals with instances. We're not going to mess with instances. I haven't been able to get them to work yet, so weather data. You know what? Let's get rid of most of this here. Clear. We're going to add a weather effect. Name. Acid rain. Ooh. Let's do acid rain. Initial delay. We want it to happen at any time, but we don't want it to last long. There we go. So we have our acid rain weather effect. Let's add something new here too. So weather. Let's add a clear, so that way, you know, you have a breath of fresh air. We could do a heat wave. Let's a cold wave first. Let's add a heat wave. So that way, depending on when those hit, depend on, yeah, can you go outside today? Can you not go outside today? Generally, right now, the way we have everything, you can go outside during the dawn when it's transitioning between the negative 200 degrees Celsius and the positive the positive 200 degrees Celsius. So, okay, so we have those. Let's go ahead and save. Now let's also change the colors here. Um, Atmospheric color, you know, let's kind of give it a purple. And let's make the night just as bright as the day. Just like that. Sun flare effect. Let's give it a blue. Night color. You know, let's do red. It'll be ominous. We'll do a purple fog at a 0.5 intensity. Oh, no. 0.5. There we go. So it'll be foggy and dangerous because we got the acid rain and the cold and hot wave. Cloud density. Let's do cloud density of 1. We want this to be a cloudy planet. No sunshine and rainbows here. You know what? Let's leave that at 1. Let's do the ground fog intensity at 0.5. Upper limit, we'll say, we'll do that at 100. And wind speed, we'll up this to 10. Why not? All right. So we did change a lot there, but we do know what we changed. Let's hit save. And let's load this into the game. Alright, falling down into this planet. Ooh. can't see the floor. Where are we gonna land? Oh, I see a tree. A couple trees. Alright. We have fog. Lots of fog. This is pretty cool. It's not purple though. Let's see why it's not purple. Well, let's see how far up this fog goes here. Ah, yep. They're about 100. Look at that. It just looks like a sea of fog. Alright, I just changed the sky color here a little bit from pure white to kind of like a purplish pinkish kind of thing. Fog color's purple. I don't know why it didn't come up. Color zenith. We can make this a maybe a bluish, light blue, like that. Do horizon color. We'll do it like a light orange. That looks kind of cool. Let's see how that works. Let's see. Cloud density is 1. Fog density is good. Alright. That should all be good. Let's save that to the playfield. If this works, we'll move on. Alright. Here on planet. Ooh, Ajax fruit. And alright, the fog is the color we want it to be. It's a purplish color. Let's head for these mountains here. We can't see at all. Oh, fruit. See if we can't get above the clouds here. Alright, fog's starting to thin out. The mountains look blue. Look at that. So we'll go ahead and we'll keep this. Go into God mode. So that way I don't die. Let's check out the night side of the planet. Look at that. How's that for being ominous? Let's go down into the fog. Okay, ooh, what is shooting me? We can't even tell because we can't even see it. And I think, oh, yep, there's a radio station. Look at that. We can't even see it. We can't even tell. Alright. So if we go up above the clouds, you can see the mountains. Oh, and the cloud density here. Let's see what this planet looks like from outer space here. Look at that. Let's go around to the day side. So it still looks like your normal planet, but as soon as we start getting close, it starts getting purple. Until we get into the atmosphere, and look at that. Of course, I mean, you guys can change the colors. You guys can do just about anything you want. We're just making a ridiculous planet here, and purple is ridiculous. Unless you like it. And even if you like it, it's ridiculous. Alright, so we've changed the colors of the night. You know what? I like the red. Let's lighten it up a bit. Maybe add a little bit of... you know, red's good. We'll leave it as is. Okay. So, let's go resources. Now, before we start messing with the resources, one thing we have to do is we have to go through the POIs here and take out their resources. So, wreckage, take out these. Oops. Okay. Chrome base Omicron doesn't have any. Vessel base doesn't have any. TS Omicron doesn't have any. Benefactory does. Let's take these out. Portal, no. Crash ship, no. Civilian settlement, no. So one thing I realized by doing this, these will crash our playfield if we're not careful. So let's go back to resources here and let's oust all these. We don't need those, we don't need those, and we don't need these. Alright, so first of all, we're going to add random resources, and our random resource is going to be gold. Why not? Everybody likes gold, but we only want 1 to 2 nodes. No, I only want 1 node. Min-max of 1. Now we don't want these gold nodes to be very big, so let's do 1 to 30. Yeah, you know what? Let's do 1 to 15. So that way it'll be either the smallest size or about half size. Depth, we'll put them right on the surface. Everything's hard to see as it is. Drone probability, absolutely. How many drones? We want 5 drones per node. That'll be pretty dangerous. Now, the fixed resource deposits, we can add that. We'll do a fixed Promethium at 100 by 100 by 100. Now this actually I want it like 39. And we'll do size 100. That'll be now in order to get this one to spawn, we have to use the, where did it go? It is, oh, right here. Use fixed POIs and resources. We'd have to enable that, but it gets rid of everything else on the planet. So we'll save this one. It's here. Let's add some meteors. We'll do iron meteors, but we always want the iron meteors to fall. Drop amount 30,000. Initial delay is 0, 0, and despawn delay 0. So we'll have iron. We'll do, actually, let's copy this. It's going to paste. Nope. Okay. So let's add cobalt. Always fall. Drop amount 30,000. Initial delay is 0. Subsequent delay 0. Despawn 0. So cobalt, iron. The Let's see. Let's do magnesium. There we go. So these are the resources that will always fall. We can do a depletion too. Let's see. Let's add a gold threshold. Drop amount. What is the maximum drop amount? Let's do 0.8. 30,000. All right, so that's our depletion. So once gold starts to deplete, it'll start dropping gold asteroids, and then we have these as well that'll drop. Let's add Promethium. Always 30,000. Initial 0, 0, and 0. So there we go. So now we have power. But we gotta find them and wait for them to drop, so it's not easy. Save it to our playfield and let's load it. Alright. Now we're here at the load screen and we have deposits of gold, depletion meteorites of gold, and then random meteorites of iron, cobalt, magnesium, promethium. So there we go. Oh, I just saw a meteor there. Look at, like a streak across the sky there. Of course, we can't see much of anything because of the fog. Oh, a magnesium meteorite. Look at that, right off the bat. Let's run over here and check this out. Oh, there's another meteorite. Look at that. And look at that, right there. Iron meteorite, magnesium. Alright, everything seems to be shaping up pretty well. Alright guys, I had went back and I enabled the fixed POIs to show you what can happen when you start playing around with the fixed POIs. Now, if you look on here, there are no other POIs on here because we didn't set up any of the fixed POIs. Nothing spawned. There's no random. But on our one fixed resource, this is what happened. Remember, we set it to 100, which is 100 meteor radius. So this is literally Promethium mountains, valleys, fields, you name it. This is all Promethium. Look at all this Promethium. And as you can see, grass and trees, rocks, and everything are growing and spawned on it. But this is literally all Promethium. Like, you could mine this and get Promethium. Oh, there's the edge. Now, our meteorites, they still fall. Let's go over to this Promethium meteorite here. Even though we're using fixed resources, our meteorites or random meteorites, they still fall. We're just not going to get the depletion meteorites because the gold isn't there. So there we go. That's the difference between the using fixed and not using fixed. Using fixed, none of the randoms spawn except for meteorites. But you get some pretty awesome effects with the Promethium. So this whole area here is just Promethium. Pretty cool. All right, so that was resources. Now I'm going to go ahead and unclick this again here, the use fixed POIs and resources. Um, that's cool, but really we need random things to spawn. So let's go to the biomes. You know what? Yeah, let's do biomes. So we have terrain type. Terrain type is desert. Now this is just your standard Omicron desert. We can go to desert 2, or desert new. I think desert 2 is like a barren planet, just kind of flat. We can do temperate. We can do lava. Moonstone, that's what they use for the moons. Snow, that's your snow planets, of course. Temperate, temperate 2. Temperate 2 is your Oskatoon. And I'm not sure, really, like temperate new 2 and temperate new 3. I haven't played around with those too much, so I'm not too sure. But we can change this up to... Oh, here's the barren. Okay, so maybe desert 2 isn't barren. Let's try desert 2. Let's see what that does. Okay, so we have pole level. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure. So terrain level at the poles. Poor terrain will be warped. Oh. If you set it high, your playfields north and south will be limited by a hill. If set low, there will be an open plain behind the pole barrier. Oh, so that's behind the pole barrier. Noise strength defines the noise strength of texture, color, variances, property. Keep low for best results. Oh, cool. Okay. So that actually clears up a lot of the misconceptions I had about that. Let's see, texture gradients, altitude where gradient starts, defines how far up and down color gradient spread. All right, so there you go. If you want to change these, it'll change the gradients of your textures in your biomes. So we can change the textures here too. Subbiomes, Stone Beach. You can change that. This right here, this is where we get to identify in biome clusters. You got your small lake. We can add or take away radiation here. We can add or take away temperature. We can set what we want to spawn here in the small lakes. Seaweed and the amount too. Like we can add or take away here. So let's up the amount of Promethium stone to 5. So there we go. We got more Promethium stone and more pentaxid. That spawns there, but you know I don't want that type of pentaxid. That was straight crystal. We want crystal pyramid right here. Crystal pyramid blue. That's the pentaxid that gives you 2 per click instead of just the 1. So that's biomes. Let's go over to POIs. Now, for the most part, we're going to take out a lot of these POIs because we don't want them. Fixed POIs, these are all literally, we're not going to use those. We're not going to use the majority of these. But we want, let's see, wreckage, we don't need. The drone base and the planet base we do. And we can change the drone base. We can change it to drone base Akua or drone base Oskatoon or whatever. Ningus, Astis, drone base version 2, or even the drone or the Xenu Fortress. Now why don't we do that? Why don't we change it to the Xenu Fortress? The Xenu Fortress P1, that'll be our drone base. And we can set up the drones. We want 5 to 10 drones. Reserve count. Yeah, let's do 100. Delete the wreckage there, and let's add the TS Akua. We don't want, or the TS Omicron, because we don't want the trade station to spawn anywhere near the drone base. So there we go. TS Omicron. Let's delete the wreckage. This change to the drone fortress. And we don't want drones to spawn here. We do want to add the personal container. Have the personal container have let's see, maybe some Promethium pellets. We'll give 20 Promethium pellets. The survival constructor. Let's see what else. Biofuel. We give 5 biofuel. And that should be good. And I think, let's see, what else can we do here? We can do regenerate, map marker, distance. No, we don't want to mess with that. Okay. So, let's see. Abandoned factory, now let's 86 that. Portal, no, we don't want that. Crash ship, let's do something different with this one. Let's do... let's do that one right there. Now, we don't want to set the crash ones where you have to dig. See, civilian settlement. We don't want civilian settlements. What should we put here? We could do something tough. Let's do a... Let's do a Xeno base. 1 to 2. Drones 5 to 10. Drone probability absolute. Don't spawn near the drone base Akua or the trade station. We don't want it to spawn near the trade station at all. And we want it to regenerate. So we want these to regenerate after 1,440 minutes. That is 24 hours in real life. So every day that this will respawn, so people can go back to it every single day. You can set that to 2 minutes, or you can set that to 60 minutes, which is an hour. I like the 1440. There we go. Xeno base. Xeno tier 1. Let's change this to Xeno tier 2. And let's change this to TS Omicron and the Xeno Fortress. There we go. TS Omicron and Xeno Fortress we don't want it to spawn next to. Xeno base. There we go. We want it to spawn near the Xeno Fortress. We want this to spawn near the TS Omicron. All right, there we go. Now, let's see, player start. Yeah, we want to start in a structure. We want to start in the TS Omicron. You know what? Why don't we start off in an HV? And here we can change, easy content, medium content, hard content, and a fresh start. I'll change it to light armor. These basically, whatever you want the player to start off with and have, this is where you would change it here. Let's hit OK. Let's save playfield as, and let's see what this does. All right, let's go ahead and start here, and let's see where we start off at. It's going to load. It could crash. Looks like it's going to load. All right, let's see what happens. Huh. Well, I don't see a ship. We did start off with quite a bit of stuff, which is good. I don't see a ship anywhere near me. There's TS Omicron. Alright, so that didn't work, and I actually think I know why it didn't work. So one of the things we didn't do is, even though we have survival start in the derelict HV, we didn't add the HV to the playfield. So let's go. We're going to have to add the derelict HV to the playfield. No possibility for drones. And we want this to spawn near the TS Omicron. And spawn away from Xenu Fortress and the planet vessel base. Distance 1.5 kilometers. And let's check this out. Alright, so let's try this again. Let's see if we start in the hover vehicle. Alright, and yes we did. Now I'm not familiar with that file, so I'm not entirely sure what to expect here. I'm looking at it, I don't see why it wouldn't go. Other than there's no cockpit. Ah, crap. But you know what? We'll have to give the player a cockpit. So let's do item menu. Let's bring in a HV cockpit. Where'd they go? Uh-oh. There we go. Oh, it's a base. Okay. that was our bad. My bad, I should say. Because we were supposed to set this up as a craft, not a base. So let's go back here in the derelict HV. POI type is not a base, it's an HV for the player. Haha. Alright, now let's try this again here. As soon as it loads. Alright, and great. There's the derelict HV, and we are nowhere near it. I don't know, see, this is kind of interesting. It'd be an interesting twist. We actually have to dig out the CV. Let's see, item menu. Since we need to bring in the cockpit anyways, let's see, and I'm going to use the drill tier 2 because, yeah, it's awesome. But where normally, most players, they would have to use the other drill, standard drill. There we go. Alright, now, just need to put the cockpit on there. Let's see. I'd like to use an enclosed cockpit. It doesn't look like we're going to have that choice. So it looks like open cockpit it is. Which means we're still exposed to the elements. Here we go. We are flying the derelict HV. We can't see. Awesome. Oh. Yeah, this is definitely ridiculous. But it's what we set out to do. Whoops, knocked over a tree. So let's go and tag the trade station there. Let's see if we can make it to the trade station. Oops, am I stuck? Stuck in a tree. Gosh darn it. But, you know, I guess this is one of the risks that we take when we're flying blind. Let's see, rock stone removal. And we have acid rain. Oh, this planet is crazy. We have nowhere to hide. I'm stuck on a tree. Oh my gosh. Alright, so we really have entered in new heights of just frustration here. There we go. Now can I move? I'm still gonna be stuck. Can I make it to the trade station before I die? Oh, that's derelict HV. Oh man, this is craziness. And of course, it's hard to control because things are missing on the derelict HV. Oh, trees. No, don't get stuck in any more trees. Oh, hey, found it. Sweet. Let's get into it. Come on. You can do it. Go. I'm almost dead. Nope, no, 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 no. Don't get caught up in the crevices. Oh, so close yet so far. Get up there. Get up there. Oh, stuck in a crack. Can I run 200 meters before I die? I think I can. I might actually make it. Where's the front door? Ah, didn't make it. So, alright, so we gotta figure out where to put the derelict HV, and I think I know what we're gonna do here. This is definitely a crazy world. Oh, the rain, the radiation. Alright, let's go to the medical chambers. It's always a good idea to play the worlds that you're designing so that way you know it's not impossible. We don't want impossible worlds, because impossible worlds aren't fun. It's just, you know, ridiculous. But in a bad way. We want ridiculous in a good way. So there we go. Now, we know what we need to change. Let's go ahead and make those tweaks. So we don't want the player start to be in the derelict HV. We want it to be in the TS Omicron. So, TS Omicron there. And we want to add the SVHV cockpit. And it is not... So there we go. We'll add it to each one of these. I just use the copy paste. Oh, no, I don't want it to that one. There we go. And we need to go into the derelict HV. It's going to spawn near TS Omicron. Let's go to the TS Omicron and add. Oh, no. Hold on a minute. Let's take this off there. Oh, it's not going to let me do it. I guess it's all in this one where we got to add it here. So, the derelict HV is supposed to spawn near the TS Akua, and that's that. Alright. So hopefully that takes place. So let's go ahead and save. So we've done the POIs. And fixed POIs is pretty much the same thing as the fixed resources. You pick one, and you got your prefabs, mode, survival, name. You can rename them. You set the position and the rotation, and then you give them properties. I don't mess with that too much. It is something I'm going to get into soon. Hopefully, depending on how we set up certain planets. But the biggest thing is trial and error. Try if it doesn't work, try something else. So let's check out the drone base setup here. So we want 5 to 10 drones. The reserve count of 100. Difficulty. So 5 to 7 is the infinite drone waves. 1 through 4 is not. So we want 7. So we want the most difficult, and with infinite waves and the presets. Let's see, we want them to trigger at once, so we need a 3. There we go. These I'm not going to mess with. Those are good. But anyways, you can add. You know what? Let's add a turret robot. There we go. Planet base, planet vessel. So this one we're going to change to let's see if I can get down to it here. So originally it's Patrol S, Patrol Small Easy. Let's do Patrol Medium Hard. Hard 2. Let's save the playfield after that. And let's go to creatures. What creatures do we want to spawn? Let's see. We'll add Biomes Mountain. And let's put the Assassin Reds. They'll always spawn on the mountains. The amount of 5. From 0 to 255 altitude, because they're on the mountains. And okay. Okay, here. Small Lake, let's see what spawns on Small Lake. Cave worms at night. Let's add the Assassins 5 during the day. Desert low plains. Let's add desert golems. We'll have those spawn 5 always. Same as the high plains. Oh, desert golems only spawn at night. We want them always. We want 5 at a time because we want it to be ridiculous. Spiders 2. Okay, that's good. Worm herd during the day. That's good too. Alright. So, we have set up our playfield. Let's go ahead and test it again and see where we're at. Alright, loading into the game now. If everything worked out alright, we should be loading into the Tiesakua, or Omicron here. And here we are. We can go in here, get our personal belongings, and let's go downstairs. Now, the derelict HV, of course, spawned quite a ways away, but it did spawn, so we know where it's at. We do have the cockpit. This will let you select. Nope, you're stuck with that cockpit. That's it. Wow. Alright. Well, we'll have to change that, of course. Alright, and we just put some new monsters on the playfield, so we're going to have to get ready for that. Let's see, flag the derelict. Let's see if I can run 1.5 kilometers before I become overcome with radiation and temperature. Doesn't look like it's gonna work. Nope. Nope. Now, one of the things we can do too is we can also increase the amount of rocks that spawn in the biomes. So that way the player can build up resources using the rock breaking. So that way resources aren't impossible to get. I mean, you can get resources enough to build and sustain yourself. I'm not seeing any monsters just yet. Doesn't mean they're not out there. Of course, this is right about the time that a monster jumps out and kills me. Or I end up with brain parasites. And, oh, okay, here it is. Thought it was buried again. Looks kind of goofy, but you know what? It's gonna save our lives. Power on. Oxygen. And as you can see, the temperature is falling. Oh, the trees. And I'm stuck. Alright, even though it looks goofy, we were able to slap a cockpit on the derelict HV and get going. Yeah, it's missing a hover on the front. That's probably why it's acting weird. I mean, it's not a bad starter vehicle, really. It's not too easy to get to, so you know, people aren't going to be at an advantage right off the bat. And it gives an immediate goal because now you have something to work from. So now you're not going to die repeatedly on the planet over and over again. Oh, and I just broke my leg. Nope, I didn't. Oh, thought I did. And it gets stuck on trees a lot. And there we go. So, alright. There's our planet so far. One thing that I do want to do, we should add more rocks. I'll show you how to do that real quick. Let's go into Biomes. And right here, we're going to look at the altitude, 21 to 32. Just keep in mind that the sea level is 29. So that one's underwater. It's a small lake. So, okay. 32 to 35. That's the shoreline. 35 to 40. Low desert plains. And desert rocks 1 and 2. We want to up these values to 2. And this will give us more resources on the planet that are readily available to all the players. All they got to do is go look for them and use their drill on the rock breaking setting to dismantle them and to get the basic resources. Ooh, desert rock large. We want do 3 of those. Desert rock mediums, do 2. And 2 of those. That should be good. And of course, this is all, again, trial and error. We'll save it and load the playfield. Alright, we're going to go out here and out the front door from where we spawned in at. We're going to look for some basic resources. And look at this. There's a rock right here. Let's go ahead and equip our drill. Stone removal. This will take a while. And boom, 91 cobalt. Wow, this is kind of a menacing... Look at all this. This is pretty cool. Alright, I kind of like what we did here. We gave plenty of resources, not too far away. And of course, you know, you have to kind of gauge your time. I came out here at dawn, and the temperature's already starting to heat up too high. And then, of course, radiation's always a factor. There we go, 45 copper. It's definitely a very rocky planet now. There's 4 copper. Iron, yes. Alright, and we can set up our survival constructors, which we'll have to take one out. But I'll let you guys do that. You guys have followed along with me. In making this planet. You can tweak it however you'd like to do it. Step in the door here. The radiation effects off. Oh, I can't access my constructors, but I can fly over here. Watch this. I can mine from the trade station. And 58 iron, look at that. Alrighty. Not a bad planet. So that should do it, guys. That's how you make a ridiculous planet in Empyrion. And if you'd like to take a look at some of the changes we've done here in the text, the gravity's 20, water brown. You know, this is all the stuff that EPD changes. And it's a lot easier to do it through EPD than it is through a text editor here. It's a really, really good program. So, well, if you like what I did here, go ahead and like, subscribe. If you'd like to support what I do, visit my Patreon. I also have a project on GoFundMe that I need your guys' help with. Go ahead and check that out. It's a good program. At least I think it is. A couple other people too think it is, and hopefully we can get it up off the ground, because I would love to offer that service to everyone, my viewers, past, present, and future. So, alright guys, take it easy, have fun designing your own planets, and if you have any questions, feel free to comment, and I'll try and answer the best I can. So, have a good one guys, and safe journeys.